AJ, always good to check in. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing fine. How are you guys doing?
Oh, we're doing all right.
Let's start with Chris Paddock. I know last night didn't go well. You made the move to the bullpen. Just could you explain maybe the thought process on why that's the way you guys want to go moving forward?
To move him to the pen?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think given where we're at on the schedule, given how, we need to use our pitching and just his recent struggles, it's trying to relieve some of the pressure of the first inning and starting games. We decided to make a change. I mean, obviously our pitching staff is built on depth, and we have a couple arms that we want to get, in the mix, and we're hoping one time through we'll, spike a little velo, stuff will get a little bit better. The swing and miss that comes and goes with him, we obviously need it to be better, and we're just going to use our pitching a little bit differently. So it's a way to use the advantage of having, capable arms, albeit without a few roles, and maybe we have to switch the roster up a little bit, but we're just trying to get series by series and win the most games we can.
I know you'd mentioned even last night, right? You're just simply trying to figure out how to win today. But for fans and for us, when we talk about this, and maybe I'm sure you're unaware, we look at the record and we see, okay, you're still tied for the most wins in the American League. Yet we look at the starting pitching outside of School Bowl, and everybody is all up in arms and concerned about who's going to be number 2 when we get to October. Who's going to be, where can we count on some of these wins? Yet you still have one of the best records in the American League, tied for the best record. How do fans rationalize those two things?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It's so hard sometimes, and I guess I would ask it, for all of us. I mean, did everybody guarantee that we were going to be the first to like 40, 50, 60, 70, and 80 wins in the American League? And it's just by sports. It's hard. It's hard to not get emotionally tied and ride the roller coaster, but on the field and in our uniform, we just can't do it, and we have to figure it out. I mean, I know, there's what it creates is opportunity for guys to step up and be part of the solution as opposed to sort of dragging down the drama of not knowing. I do think Jack Flaherty can be a terrific pitcher both in the regular season and a potential postseason. I mean, Charlie Morton has shown his flashes. Casey Mize made the All-Star team. We've shown that we can be creative with a variety of arms. I mean, I know it's way easier on everyone's emotions and maybe their heart to be tied to knowing everything right now, but we're just not going to be able to. And I think there's a lot of teams that aren't able to stamp that right now. And it's uncomfortable for fans. It's a reality when you go have a couple games like this, but I don't know what to tell them. I mean, it's hard not being emotional this time of year when you love a team so much.
Is it tough for you to not necessarily know who your number 2 would be in a playoff rotation today?
I think it's tough for me to watch these guys struggle, down the stretch and try to find solutions on what, the Charlie Morton spraying the fastball or Casey not being able to locate his pitches. Obviously Jack's coming off a really good start. So I think, I try not to get caught up in any emotion and just try to keep finding solutions. I mean, Fett and I talk all the time about how we're going to try to find solution and what are the keys to, and it's been hard. Charlie was battling himself through that issue, had one pitch to Soto with 2 strikes, and all of a sudden the grand slam completely changed his day. So, is it hard or not? I don't really care. It's the reality.
Fair
in
enough.
September, trying to get these guys playing better.
So if I asked you then if you were setting a rotation today, it's not October. I'm trying to get creative with how I ask this.
Yeah.
Who would be the number 2 if you were setting a rotation today?
But I wouldn't be setting the rotation today. So
Okay.
that's entirely for you guys to talk about. It's not. It's irrelevant for me. I don't know who we're playing. I don't know what time we're playing. I don't know how the rest of the pitching staff's doing or how we're going to attack the opponent. So I wouldn't set the rotation today.
Could I throw one other wrinkle? The Melton question. I know you've been asked about him before. You love him as a weapon out of the bullpen. Is there any consideration to him being a starter come playoff time?
Maybe. Yeah. I mean, I think we're going to try to get to the playoffs and win our division first, and then you start talking about how to deploy your players. Of course, we're going to think about what's there. What I struggle with is is people not really recognizing that he pitched in 2 of 5 days and 3 of 8 days, which he would not be able to do in the rotation. And so we're trying to control a little bit of everything with him and deploy him when we can. I mean, we were 1 pitch away from getting him in a really important game the other day, and the grand slam hurt us, obviously, and the ground ball triple hurt us. But it's a strategy to try to get the most out of him and the most out of our pitching staff. And what I would tell you about starters in general is if at the first point of stress in the 3rd or 4th inning we're going to pull you, is it better to have that shot, or is it better to have him deployed over multiple games in a series? It's for you to answer.
I don't know if there's any update you could share right now in regards to Reese Olson. I know that initially it was, hey, we're hoping to get him back in October. How's he doing, and do you think it's realistic that you can get him back in October?
So he's not playing catch yet. So we are first week of September. Even when you start playing catch, it's probably a pretty lengthy buildup. So I don't think it's probable right now early in any possibility like that. I don't know what it takes for the rest of the month, but to think that he's going to be ready by the end of the season, I think that's asking too much, given he's not playing catch yet.
Casey Mize will throw today. We're talking to AJ Hinch. What's the key to getting him back to that first half form where he made the All-Star game?
He's got to be able to locate his fastball. I think everything plays off of that. The breaking ball does, the split, which has been nasty at times this season. And even part of last outing, he finally got the ball below the waist on purpose. Like, he wants to pitch up because it plays off. His other stuff plays off that. You also want to be able to pitch down when you want to. But if they can eliminate fastball to middle or miss, meaning middle of the plate, middle of the body to miss, like he's not on the edges. He's not locating pitches, and he and all pitchers are much different to face. So fastball command, I think, is really key. And Casey, made the All-Star team and had a terrific first half because of those locations and because of his ability to get to 2 strikes quickly. That's eluded him, for a bit now, and he's very capable of doing it. The stuff that came out of his hand the other day in Sacramento, with some velo, but obviously we need him back to form to help us win.
The lineup, and I do want to bring up one positive, and that's Dylan Dingler. He has quickly become.
Hey, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for the positive.
Yeah, he's quickly become a guy that I can't wait to see him at the plate. He's batting above 280. Yeah. What does he have to do to move up in the lineup, or how do you construct things with him batting as well as he's been and being as consistent as he's been?
Where would you hit him?
Oh, he's putting you on the spot, John.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, if I'm making the lineup, I don't know. I'd probably put him.
You put him in the top 6?
Yeah, I'd put him in the top 6, maybe 5.
Oh, boy.
So you're going to bet Torkelson and him back-to-back right-handed with all the right-handed relievers that come.
Come on, John.
Come on, John. The construction is just not about how a guy's swinging, but do you not want Wenzel up against a right-handed pitcher?
Yeah, John.
Or McKinstry?
Well, these are not answers.
This is more fun when I have AJ on my side. This is great.
I am qualified to answer, or questions I'm qualified to answer. And I do appreciate you putting it back.
I'm just trying to ask you, like, rather than saying move them up, there's a downside to getting your righties all. If I get Glaber and Torque and Dingler 3 out of 4, like, do you think their right-handed pitchers are looking forward to that? Or do you think that they have a decision to make on, do I run a lefty through there? Or do I run a righty through there? If I can separate the 3 righties and I roll the lineup and we have Holt and Torres at the top of the order and Dingler's getting on base, or all those RBIs that he's getting at the bottom of the order, like, you need them all.
Mm-hmm.
You don't just need them faster to have a good offense.
Talking to Tiger manager AJ Hinch, and it's what, John? You're laughing?
Oh no, I thought it was great. He answered the question.
It's a good exchange. We asked you after the deadline about your bullpen, and I believe as of today, bullpen ERA since that day is top 5. Would you feel like you're starting to get some roles solidified beyond just Vest and Finnegan? Where are you at with your bullpen confidence?
Yeah, no, I'm glad you brought that up, and that has been a point of emphasis. And getting a couple guys, Finnegan and Montero, in this organization and in the groove has been really big. I think Tommy Canley's a really big part of this. I mean, he settled into, 4 or 5 consecutive outings. I had to use him for a sort of a 1-out. I didn't really want to use him, but Paddock was in such trouble. But I like that he's sort of calmed down and got his outs, and he can factor in a little bit more. And then, as we get towards, using our pitching creatively, at least once in the rotation, if not multiple times, like those guys pitching well is going to be really, really important. So, obviously Holden, give up the homer to Bobby Witt Jr., but it's been better. Tommy Kahnle being better. Montero's been able to be used in a couple of different roles. Everybody loves Destin Finnegan, as I do. We're getting a little bit deeper and a little bit better and a little bit more confident.
AJ, we'll send along the lineup card for later today for your approval.
You got it.
Yeah, let me work on it just a little bit more.
That's perfect. AJ, as always. Go ahead.
You boys. We'll see you later.
See you. As always, appreciate your time. That's Tiger manager AJ Hinch. It's 97.1. All right, guys, before we move on, I want to give you your first clue for Name That Lion. I played running back for the Detroit Lions. Doesn't give it away. You're going to need more clues. It's 97.1.